Good morning. It's Conversations with Kez time again. Today I have with me Annette Stanton. Now Annette today she comes across as an international coach, but I know she has quite a background that led her to this very spot where she is. So Annette, I'll turn the camera to you and I'd like you to explain why you are where you are today.
Thank you, Kez. Well, that's a very big question and a long story, so where do I start? So yes, as Kez was saying, I'm an international professional coach, and my passion is helping people, especially entrepreneurial thinkers. So the people who think outside the square, really helping them to identify what their passion is, and by using the power of vision, which is what Kez is holding up there, my book. And ultimately, it's all about knowing everyone has an inner vision, everyone has a strength and a calling, and that's all about making sure that you trust and honour the strengths and your lifeline of what it is that you're meant to be doing on this planet. Because we all are here for a purpose, and I believe that it's important for us to express those purposes and what that's all about for us.
Very true.
Yes.
But your past is in sportsmanship, isn't it?
Absolutely. So I started off, interestingly, as a sporting champion, but it wasn't always that way. I was a very shy young girl and young woman, as a matter of fact. So I realised, after doing a lot of personal development work, that my self-expression, because I never spoke except unless I was on the sporting field. So my self-expression came out through my physical body, through the expression of my body. And as time went by, and then I had a health scare when I was 24, and that's when I got into personal development and really learning about life legacy and purpose and passion. And that's when I started asking those bigger questions in life, which is what I love to help people do now. Yes?
Yeah, we all do that. I think you get to a certain age and then you think, the big why.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. And we all have to have answers. Sometime in our life, we have to find the answer and then feel like when your self-esteem is shaken, we don't actually get it out and shake it. We don't like to show it, but that's when the power of positive thinking comes in. I know it's also what you train in, is the power of positive thinking, which is what attracted me to contact you, because I love that thought.
Thank you. Yeah. Do you know, interesting you say that, because The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale was the very first book that I read when it came to personal development. And it really transformed my life back in the 80s. And that was, that was the start of me looking outside my own box, so outside my own square, in my own life, and really identifying that entrepreneurial thinker that I didn't know I had in me.
Yes, yeah.
And I allowed that person to come out bit by bit by bit by bit, and it took time, took courage, it took vulnerability.
Yes,
because it was a point of difference as well, and getting to know yourself as who you truly are.
It's magic,
and where you're at. Yeah.
So is there a particular page in this book that you'd want to point your viewers to?
You know what? The Needs Program. And it's on page, I remember this because it's 62, which is the year I was born. And it's, the Needs Program is it's a thing that my coach said to me when I first started as a professional coach. I hired a master coach. See, 16 years ago I went through chronic fatigue, divorce, and my business flatlined. I was a personal trainer back then. My first business was 25 years ago. I was a personal trainer, health and fitness, holistic well-being, mindset, all those things. And then I got diagnosed with chronic fatigue because I went through divorce. And when I hired my master coach at that time, and she talked about the Needs Program, and what I've done is it actually transformed my life, because I was able to identify unmet needs in me that I was trying to get met through external sources, people, places and things, or the next award,
that's right,
the next client, the next business, the next more money, more this, more that, right? Yeah. So when I did the Needs Program inside, I was able to identify another type of, I did emotional intelligence in the 80s, I did all that, so I was aware of all that, but there was a deeper level of really getting to know my true values based on getting to know my needs.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Yes.
So definitely the Needs Program transformed my life, and it's one of the first things that I find when I'm working with my clients that we need to work on, otherwise reaction modes occur. A lot of, stimulus occurs in life or business, or haven't got enough money, haven't got enough clients, haven't got enough, my relationships are unhealthy, whatever the case might be, it's always unmet needs inside that we need to be meeting within ourselves. And that's what transformed my life.
Wow, that's quite a story, isn't it? I know that when I started teaching myself in New Zealand, I didn't realise that I could motivate people. But when I learnt that I could actually motivate my students to learn, and I don't believe you can train or teach anyone to learn, they've got to be willing to learn. So I suddenly found I had the skill, and I surprised myself. But then I found myself querying, why motivation? Why me? Why has it come to me now? And then life stepped in, and I did a bit of a flatliner as well with health.
Yes.
And it's amazing when you really can't do much at all. Everybody's around you was working, like the kids were working, hubby was working, and I just thought, well, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Why am I working so hard?
Great question.
To please everybody else,
Oh, yes.
to make the money, to pay the mortgage. Yeah, so it took a bit of a holiday for me and meeting so many wonderful people, that I decided to come here and live. And this is my journey of interviewing fabulous people, writing, painting, doing what I want to do. Not to impress, but because it's a need inside me. It's, again, with my artwork, it's my childhood that I rely upon to fill that need.
And that natural creativity is coming through now. That's,
Yeah.
And I'm seeing this in this beautiful garden. The viewers can't see this, but this amazing garden that I'm looking at over here.
Not too good. It needs a bit of an upgoing.
In my world, it's amazing.
So, Annette, is there anything else you would like to tell the viewers while we have you on screen?
Well, I'm just thinking about something that you just mentioned there. When I was 21 years of age, and that was when I really stepped into being a national sportswoman, and we were the team. A prerequisite to that was we needed to become an accredited sporting coach. So as I've gone on my journey, I've realised that coaching is in my blood. And what I loved about it, I was 21 years of age, very shy, very, uncertain about myself as a young woman back then. But when I was learning about the true art and science of coaching, in so many ways, it's all those words you mentioned. It's inspiring, it's motivational.
That's right.
Yeah, it's helping identify the strengths in other people that when they don't see their own strengths, it's helping bring that out.
Yes.
And and today in my wiser years, and I realise, well, this is in my blood. It's something that I'm born to do, and I absolutely love inspiring others how to bring that legacy and that purpose and passion out in themselves, that they might have, it's already sitting dormant in there in some way, or they might have an inkling.
Yes,
there's more to something inside themselves that they want to express.
I agree totally.
And it's an honour. It's an absolute honour to be in the space of other people who are showing their vulnerability, having the courage to step up and step out, in a world that is so much, what would you call complexity nowadays? There's so many different options out there.
My first coach, when I was training in teaching skills, and this was at university, and I decided to step up and get myself a private coach. I think I cried for 3 hours. And she kept saying to me, there's tissue, carry on, there's a tissue, carry on. And I thought, I really can't afford the 3 hours. But she just had me hooked with her brilliance. And it was, again, her age. Her age came into it. And I just thought, one day I'm going to be your age and I'm going to have your wisdom. And I think I'm nearly there.
And you have. You are there. As I say to my clients, you've arrived. Hallelujah.
Oh, nice.
There's nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
We are all here. We've arrived. Yes?
I agree.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Annette. Please, this is Annette's book. It's well worth a read. Contact her on her website and her Facebook. And I will see you next time, next month. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Kez. Thank you, viewers. Bye-bye.